Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Treasure's Crafts. My name is Treasure Peter. On today's tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to make this beautiful waistcoat. This vest jacket is very unique and very beautiful, and it's beginners friendly. Watch till the end if this is something you're interested in. Thank you. So to make this vest, I made use of this crepe fabric. I made use of just 1 yard. And I also made use of this suit lining. So I'll be drafting it first on the pattern paper before cutting it out on the fabric. So guys, I have a very easy sewing tutorial on how to make a waistcoat without using pattern paper. I'll be dropping the link to the video on the description box of this video. Do well to check it out. So guys, I'll be drafting the back pattern first. First thing I did was to take the length of the top. So I went ahead to draw the shoulder line. This is the beginning line, and from the shoulder line I proceeded to measure and mark 25 inches to serve as the length of the blouse. So guys, you need to take note that the pattern paper was kept once, but I'm assuming it to be placed on fold. To determine the width of this pattern paper, you need to get at least your hip measurement divided by 4 plus 3 or 2 inches. The hip measurement I am working with is 42 inches, which is 10.5 divided by 4 plus additional 2 inches, as you can see. Next, I proceeded to take the shoulder to waist line at the back at 15 inches. Note the shoulder to waist at the back is usually different from the shoulder to waist at the front. So this is how you measure your shoulder to waist at the back. I had to label the lines. This is the waist line, this is the blouse length, and this is the shoulder line. Next, I'll proceed to take the horizontal measurement. First I'm taking is the shoulder measurement divided by 2. So on the shoulder line, I proceeded to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2 at 8 inches. And on that point, I came down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant and marked it. From the center, I also proceeded to take the neck measurement. I made use of a neck width of 3 inches and a neck depth of 1 inch. The reason is because I'm cutting on a pattern paper. If I was cutting directly on the fabric, I would make use of at least 1.5 inch. Then I use the French curve to connect the neckline. You can as well use your free hand, it will still come out perfectly. At the shoulder slant, I connected to slant it to the neck width in this manner. Next, I'll be taking the bust measurements divided by 6 plus 1.5 in order to form the chest line or the armhole line. On the chest line, I also proceeded to measure my shoulder measurements divided by 2. I marked what I had and then connected it to meet up with the shoulder slant before extending the chest line. On the chest line also, I measured and marked the bust circumference divided by 4. I marked what I had. Then I proceeded to use the French curve to form the armhole in this manner. On the waistline, I measured and marked the waist measurement divided by 4. At the blouse length, I also measured and marked the hip measurement divided by 4. Then I proceeded to connect the lines together in this manner. The next thing I did was to draw the chest line across and label it. At this point, I'll be drafting the princess dart. To do that, go ahead to take the nipple to nipple divided by 2. Mark it on the waist line, on the chest line, and the blouse length. So after that, I proceeded to connect the 3 lines together. Note I did not add any allowance to the nipple to nipple divided by 2. This is because I'll be adding the joining allowance when I cut it out on the fabric. So guys, next thing I did was to take the round armhole. Then I divided what I have into 2 and marked it. After that, from the chest line, I came down by 1 inch. At the waistline, I went in and out with ½ inch on both sides in order to take the dart. Then at the blouse length, I came up by 2 inches and marked what I have. Then I connected the 4 points together to form the dart. So this is just the normal way of taking our dart. So guys, after that, just proceed to connect it from the 1 inch below the chest line to the midpoint of the armhole to form the princess dart. So next, I'll just go ahead to replace the dart of 1 inch at the waist line. I marked 1 inch. Then I'll just connect it to the bust line and also to the blouse length. So guys, because I wanted the down part to be a bit free, I went out again with additional 1 inch at the blouse length before connecting it to the waistline. This is actually optional. It depends on how you want yours to be. So this is all for the drafting of the back pattern. I'll just go ahead to cut it out. I'll be adding the seam allowance on the fabric as well as the princess dart joining allowance. So guys, this is all for cutting the back pattern. I'll just go ahead to draft out and cut the front pattern. For the front pattern, I've gone ahead to take the width of the pattern paper to be more than that of the back by 1 inch because of the button allowance we'll be adding at the center. So the first thing I'm doing now is to add 1 inch button allowance at the center. So I'll just go ahead to mark it and draw a straight line across. So guys, I'll try to be very fast so that this video will not be so long. Next thing I did was to draw the starting line, which is also the shoulder line. From the starting line, I proceeded to take the shoulder to the front waistline at 16.5 inches before drawing the line across. So guys, in order to get the length of the top, you need to measure from the waistline of the back to the blouse length. Whatever you have, go ahead to also measure it from the waistline of the front pattern to get the blouse length before drawing the line across. Next, I proceeded to take the shoulder to the bust point. Then I marked what I had and also draw the line across. So the next thing I'll be taking is the shoulder. On the shoulder line, I proceeded to take the shoulder divided by 2, starting from the center point. So I marked what I had. I also measured and take the neck width to be 3 inches, just like I did to the back. And I came down by 3 inches for the neck depth before using the French curve to connect it in this manner. So for the button allowance, I just went in straight like this. Next thing I did was to come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant at the shoulder point before connecting to the neckline to form the shoulder slant. From the shoulder slant, I measured to take the bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. I marked what I had before connecting to form the chest line. On the chest line also, I measured to mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2. Before connecting a straight line from there to meet with the shoulder slant. On the chest line also, I measured to take the bust circumference divided by 4. I marked what I had, and then between the shoulder line and the chest line, I measured to get the middle point and marked it. At the middle point, I measured ½ inch inwards before connecting the 3 lines together from the shoulder slants, the middle point, and the bust circumference divided by 4 using the French curve to form the armhole. After that, I measured to get the midpoint of the round armhole and marked what I had. So guys, next I'll be taking the nipple to nipple divided by 2. From the center line, I marked it on the bust point, on the waist line as well as the blouse length before connecting the 3 lines together. So next I proceeded to take out the darts. I came down by 1 inch from the bust point. Just like I did to the back, I took out ½ inch from both sides of the waist line. And then at the blouse length, I came up also by 2 inches before connecting to form the darts in this manner. After that, I proceeded to connect it from the 1 inch below the bust point to the middle point at the armhole using the French curve to form the princess dart. Next, I proceeded to take out the armhole dart. In order to do that, I came down along the armhole by 1 inch before connecting towards the bust point in this manner, just about 1.5 inch above the bust point. So guys, next thing I did was to replace the darts so that there will be no shortage. In order to do that, I went up by 1.5 inch from the down part of the armhole in a slanted manner. And I also extended the bust by additional 1 inch in order to take the new armhole and so that there will be no shortage. After that, I connected it with the French curve to form the new armhole. Next, I proceeded to take the waist measurements divided by 4. Starting from the center line, I marked what I had and then I replaced the dart intake of 1 inch and then I connected to the bust measurement. At the blouse length, I also proceeded to take the hip measurements divided by 4 and added extra 1 inch just like I did to the back pattern before connecting it to the waist line. So guys, the next thing I'll be taking is the bust dart. So to get the length of the bust dart, I made use of the difference between the shoulder to the waistline at the front and the shoulder to the waistline at the back. So for mine, I had a difference of 1.5 inch. So from the bust point, I came down by 1.5 inch along the side and connected it to the bust point. Next thing I did was to cover up the bust dart, and then I'll just go ahead to blend it in before cutting it out. So guys, don't forget to cover the bust dart before cutting it out. Here's what I have after cutting it. So guys, at this point I'll be working on the center part of this front in order to achieve this. At the blouse length from the center, I went in by 2 inches and connected it in a slanted form to the waistline in this manner. This is something very easy. You can use 2 inches, 3 inches, 1.5, 2.5 depending on how open you want yours to be. Then I proceeded to cut it out. So guys, that's all for the drafting of the patterns. Yeah, I've gone ahead to cut them out on the fabric. I added the necessary allowances: ½ inch at the princess dart areas, ½ inch at the shoulder and the down part, and then 1.5 inch for the side seam allowance. At the center of the front, I also added a little allowance for turning the lining. It was not up to ½ inch. So I've also gone ahead to cut out the lining pieces for all the parts, and it's time for us to begin sewing. So the first thing I'll be doing is to join the princess dart areas together on this back pattern. I've gone ahead to place it right side facing the right side, and I'll be joining it with the ½ inch allowance I left from the down part to the up part in this manner. I'll also join the princess dart areas of the lining. For the front side, I'll also go ahead to join the princess dart areas together, placing it right side facing each other, and I'll be joining it from the down part to the up part with ½ inch. And I'll also be doing the same thing to the lining part. I'll join all of them off the camera and show you guys the end result. Guys, here's what I have after joining it. Next, I'll just go ahead to notch around with my scissors, and then I'll open up the seams and give it a really good press. I'll do the same thing to the front part and all the lining pieces. So guys, here is it after opening up the seams to iron it very well. See how neat it's looking. So I've done the same thing to the front pieces as well as the lining pieces. At this point, I'll be proceeding to turn the neck and the armhole as well as the down part with the lining. So I'll be turning it using the hemming gum so it will look very neat, and I'll be turning it with no more than ½ inch. I did the same thing to the front part. I also went ahead to open up the seams and iron it very well. Next, I'll be using the lining to turn it. I'll be placing it the right side facing the right side, and first I'll be turning the neckline, the armhole and the down part. I'll also turn it using the hemming gum. I'll do that off the camera and show you guys the end result. So guys, at this point I was done turning the neck, the armhole and the down part. I'll just go ahead to bring it out through the side and then iron it very well. So I've done the same thing to the front part. I'll go ahead to bring it out and give it a really good press by iron and show you guys the next step. After ironing them, this is what I have. As you can see, at this point the center front is still open, so I'll just go ahead to turn it to the wrong side and join the center using the hemming gum. Try to follow the shape of the front side the way it is. After joining it, this is what I have. I proceeded to trim off the excesses before bringing it out to the right side and ironing it very well. This is how it's looking, very neat and so beautiful. The next thing I'll go ahead to do will be to join the shoulder. So I place it right side facing each other, and I'm going ahead to join the shoulder. In order to join the shoulder, I'll be taking it through the inside. So I went in through one side. You can go in through any of the sides, either the front side or the back side, and then I'm going ahead to pull it out through that one side, pull everything out together, making sure everything aligns, both the lining and the main fabric, and then I'll just go ahead to join it with ½ inch. I hope you understand this part. So I'll also do the same thing to this other side of the shoulder, and I'll join them off the camera and show you guys what I have. This is how neat it's looking after joining it. This is the wrong side and this is the good part. So the next thing I'll go ahead to do will be to join the side. So for this jacket, you can't just join the sides like a normal blouse. You can't just close the sides normally. So what you do is, first you go ahead to open it up like this. Make sure that the armhole aligns with the armhole, and you'll be starting to join from the lining part. Make sure to join it according to the allowance you added. For mine, I added 1.5-inch allowance, so I'll just go ahead to join it from the lining all round. Then you meet up with the lining again. I hope you understand that it's something very easy and very simple for you to make. Then after that, I'll just have to cut out the excesses. This means you need to get the exact measurement before joining it. You can't just join randomly. So here is what it looks like after closing it. So this is only one side. You just go ahead to bring it out to the good part before you focus on closing the other side. This other side will be doing the same thing. The only difference is that we will be keeping space where we are going to bring it out to the right side. So go ahead to attach it, making sure the armhole aligns just like we did to the other side, and then you're going to come up by at least 4 inches and start closing it, and then you're going to close round just like we did to the other side, but you're not going to reach the end. So you're going to keep a space of at least 4 to 5 inches where you're going to pass through to bring it out to the good side. I hope you get that, and try to also tighten your stitch at the end. So yeah, I've gone ahead to sew mine already, as you can see. So I'll just go ahead to bring it out through this space that I left. So guys, if you watch up to this point, you're so amazing, and I want to say a super thank you to you. I'm really grateful. Thank you for watching up till this point. I would love to appreciate and acknowledge you in my next video. For me to do that, please drop your name and the location you're watching from, and I will do well to acknowledge you in my next video. Thank you so much. So after bringing it out to the good side, this is what we have. Our jacket is ready and it's so beautiful. So for the hole, just keep it like this and sew to close it. At this point, guys, you've come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching up to the end. I really appreciate you. So the final thing I'll be doing will be to fix the button and the buttonhole. So this is it. See how it's looking so beautiful and so lovely. I have another tutorial on how to make a vest jacket using freehand method. This is one of the easiest tutorial that you see on YouTube, and I'm going to be dropping the link on my description box below, so you go ahead to check it out if you're interested in watching it. So guys, see you in my next tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment on the comment section. Bye for now.